Hello, and welcome to the JJAT team presentation. This team consists of Jamie, Jetty, Alan, and Tinu.
We are here to proudly introduce the new ETS app, ETS 2.0. It is a live schedule and trip planner that allows for the modern Edmontonian commuter to easily commute by public transportation with ease, stress-free, and with no hassle. It is designed and made by Edmontonians with care.
First off, defining the problem. The current app does not provide the user with more information than the bus schedule times. The current app layout doesn't help the user navigate the app effectively. Most users are looking for an app that will allow them to plan a trip around their schedule. The biggest challenge we face is trying to create a UX design that stands out from other traveling planning apps for riders, yet conventional enough for the entire populace to use. The initial challenges. Defining the users. One of the struggles with defining the user is that the demographic that uses this app is very broad. Working people, students, and student out and about all use the ETS Lab to Go app. For the purposes of this project, we relied on two broad user categories of students and leisure commuters. Both categories of users are looking for live time schedules and a function to plan future trips, both with the common goal of reaching their destinations as quickly and accurately as possible. Communication. Since there are so many people, all with different ideas of what the new app should look like, it is bound to be a mess. Our solution was to focus on the user's needs. We have to keep our persona's needs and goals in mind when creating any aspect of the new app, always questioning if it is a function they will use.
So, with those problems and challenges in mind, we created 3 key assumptions and 3 key facts. Our 3 key assumptions is that in structure it was disorganized, but it had good information. For its functionality, it wasn't efficient or easy to use. And for visuals, it was just straight up not very appealing for our team. And it didn't really look or feel that it had a government status to it. These are 3 key facts we found in the current app and our research. 1, the current app lacks organization structurally and visually. 2, at least 10 users were interviewed with our prototypes and the current app. And 3, we found that users seem to trust the current app, although it doesn't look that good visually, and that was because it still did its job. So these facts and assumptions made us able to understand our users more as a team, and we were able to create a persona out of our research. His name is Zane Aguilera, a university student who works part-time and uses public transport to get to places. A key thing to take away from Zane is that he uses multiple bus apps to know when and where how to get to places. So this is a user experience map of the current app. So here are some user insights we found when we were researching. 100% of the users we interviewed actually have heard or used ETS Live to Go. And also the people who were using the ETS app consistently was because of the schedule accuracy and the information. And also an overwhelming amount of the users we interviewed have at least more than one app to plan their trips or routes. So from our literature research, we found 2 major points. 1, we found that in Canada, the use of public transit has risen by more than half from 1966 to 2016. And the age groups that used sustainable transport the most were youth aged 15 to 24. With all the research we conducted, we created this user statement. As a daily commuter, I want to go to places faster so I can have less frustration and more time to worry about something else.
With all this information, we began to look into possible solutions to the problems we identified within the app. For the home screen, we decided to implement a map, a search bar, and a tab bar for convenience. Our goal was to provide quick access to users to their frequently used functions. For the trip planner, we decided to add a map for live tracking of bus and location, a trip overview using images, icons, and colors to make navigation easier, and a trip tracker to know exactly where you are and where you get off on your stop. The settings page makes use of well-designed tabbed buttons to archive information in a simpler and deeper manner. Prototype and testing. In this stage, we decided to look into exactly what the user expected from the app and what they wanted from the app. In the expectations category, users expected the app to be easy to read, only take a minute to get directions, to provide live updates on locations of buses and routes, and to have no lag and to be used offline. However, they wanted to know exactly when the bus was coming and to be able to see an overall schedule of the buses. With this in mind, we got to creating low fidelity prototypes, which we used as a basis or as a foundation for our final work. We focus more on the architecture and organization of the information rather than the presentation of its visual nature in the space.
For our style, our team wanted to build on the current ETS's visual identity, giving it more colors and a friendlier and cheerful tone to it while still using the monochromatic blue tones the brand is using. As you can see in our polished design, we simply incorporated the new brand colors into areas that were best fitted. For instance, when you were viewing different bus routes or viewing the options available for your trip, we differentiated them by color to allow the user to identify which trip was which from the others, while keeping the design bright and friendly like our style tile suggested. For the home page, a map has been added to fill in the negative space and inform the user on their location from the onset. The menu has been compressed into 4 general categories: home, routes, saved, and settings, to simplify the layout while following the iOS guidelines. Routes to the most frequently visited location is made available there as well. More information such as arrival times and directional instructions have been added for the route map. One of 3 color schemes, purple, orange, or green for example, is added to the specific route to register color information in the minds of the users. A settings page was added to combine the about and help/FAQs together. The new layout makes use of icons as visuals and offers simplicity without feeling lacking. The back button provides an exit way for users.
Using data collection methods, we were able to get user responses on 2 versions of ETS 2.0, both of which were received with several critiques. Most of the likes were associated with the color coordination and organization, as well as tabbed features and the concise manner of the design. However, some users thought that the final choice was a little bit cluttered and were confused about some of the icon's purpose. Upon further reflection, it was decided that an improvement on the visual organization and presentation of the system, which included the icons, colors, and layouts, was needed. Also, tasks needed to be further simplified as much as possible, and the critique on the information organization was also in place. Reintroducing ETS 2.0, a life schedule and trip planner made for a modern Edmontonian commuter. Our team encountered many struggles during this project, such as reaching our goals, building a concise user niche, conducting in-depth research, team communication, and keeping in touch.
As a team, we accomplished many things together. We were able to organize our ideas and filter out what was the best out of all of them, focusing on the project to make it exceed from the original, managing our time so we can collectively work together, discussing our differences out so we can work on the same page together with no troubles, and finally, focusing on what the user wanted to see improved on the app to make their experience better.
Our app is a success because uniquely we accomplished reorganizing the ETS app by listening to the user's frustrations, which we consider successful because of the streamlined task flow our new app focuses on.